But by splitting these operations, we can ensure that the heavy cargo trucks do not congest the roads for the passengers, that the terminal is accessible. And as Kieran mentioned before, we have the advantage that our cargo area is accessible 24 hours, so there is no blockage on the roads which would avoid that, and we can have this on a continuous basis. If it comes about connectivity, it was also important for the master planning that we aligned with the different provider of public transport. While this is not something which is developed by the airport, it's important to us that we have the provisions that metro line, rapid train system, even high-speed railway, which is on the project phase, is provisioned at our airports for the easy access of the passengers. Same as road projects, which will shorten the transport times to Noida Airport. When we look at the terminal building, the overall vision of the project is that we combine the Indian warmth and hospitality with the Swiss efficiency. By doing so, we think that we can provide a product which provides maximum output for all our users. And we achieve this by focusing on 8 design principles which we have applied for the terminal building. First one is simplicity and clarity, which applies to all aspects of what we do. It's like for form, for function, for flows, for processes, for the aesthetics of the terminal, but also on the way of construction. When we keep this simple, this also means it will become much more affordable, and which will result in lower fees at the end for all our users. Operational efficiency, which is the key for every successful airport, that we streamline the processes. We have the chance that we can define all the processes basically on a clean sheet. There is no history, and we can streamline from the learnings which we made at other airports. We want to create a product of comfort and convenience for all the users of the airport, be it departing passengers, arriving passengers, passengers who are transferring, but also all the staff, like everyone who is using the airport or people who are just visiting Noida International Airport. We achieved this by focusing on short walking distances, with intuitive wayfinding, making use of the natural light, which also then pays into the sustainability concept that we can minimize the requirement for power, for lighting, which is here artificially. It will help to keep the short ways and to keep also the connecting times very low for the passengers, which will again pay off for the airlines by providing better connectivity. Seamless flows, the flexibility of facilities, that we are able to change something if we see there needs to be an improvement, and also that we have the ease of phasing, which means that whatever we do is in a modular way planned, that based on the demand which might arise, we can add additional capacity without impacting the operational system in a heavy way. Last but not least, also that we make sure that all our partners can make a business out of it, be the airlines, be the ground handlers. So there is a potential for everyone there. We look at the final terminal design, giving you a quick walkthrough starting on the outside of the terminal. Have some visuals from our architects team. The passengers will go into the check-in hall where they drop their bag. There is a mix of self-bag drops, which should be common use available for all passengers to make sure that it's convenient and uncomplicated for all the guests which we host. We continue through the security screening area, where we focus on the provision of ATRS, that we keep the high throughput there, that we keep waiting times to the minimum possible, that we comply with the service levels of IATA. Everything is designed for the optimum service level, and ending up in the security hold area where we have our departure gates, either at the head house or in the pier. Quickly run the animation again so you can see the flow of passengers for the departures. So as you can see, everything is very short walking distance, so the time which you need from the curb to the gate is kept to the absolute minimum. What you also can see here on the top is the bridge, which is for the arrivals flow. So passenger would disembark from the aircraft, coming into the terminal building, and going along the arrivals corridor into the transfer area. As said before, the focus was to allow very short minimum connecting times, that we can increase the connectivity of the airlines. What you can also see here, this is a picture from the immigration. So the airport will be providing all the international functions from the day one, while based on our analysis we feel that most of the traffic initially will be on domestic nature. We provide all the facilities also to have international flights, which also then, I will come back to that in a minute, is an important feature when we look at our international boarding gates, where we allow for the mixed rotations. If we look at the air side, the design principles applied here. Again, we look into efficient flows that we keep the taxi time for aircraft at the minimum by providing the rapid exit at the right location, by focusing on maybe allowing for the intercept takeoffs that we can keep the taxi time minimums, quick turnarounds, and looking into sustainability as well, which is a big or important topic for us, that we can focus on electric GSE to keep our carbon emissions at the minimum. And as mentioned before, the mixed rotations, basically meaning that the international boarding gates or international parking positions